guys! So today I'm going to get into 3 recipes for a brunch on the go. I was going to do this video as a healthy recipes on the go for breakfast, but I decided that something more creative and a little bit more fun would be brunch on the go. So what I'm going to be making for you guys today is a cranberry orange scone, a maple bacon yogurt parfait, and a ham and cheese egg croissant. I feel like those 3 recipes are like very brunchy, a little bit more creative, which is what you would typically see on a brunch menu at a high-end restaurant, and they will all be easy things for you to take on the go. So let's get right into the baking. So I thought I'd start with the cranberry orange scones because while those are in the oven, we can be working on the glaze for the scones, we can be working on the yogurt parfaits, and then we can prep our ingredients for the ham and cheese egg croissants. So the recipes I will be sharing in the description box down below, and we will also be putting our recipe cards on the blog, but this cranberry orange scone recipe is from Sally's Baking Addiction, so I'll leave her link in the description box below as well. So we're going to start by working in a food processor. Sally actually did hers by hand with a pastry cutter, but I'm going for something a little bit easier this morning since I am making these things in the morning. And we're going to be working in a food processor. So we're going to start by combining 2 cups of flour, which I've already prepared in this bowl, with half a cup of granulated sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of orange zest, which is typically 1 orange. So it looks like that's just enough orange zest, so I'm going to add that to my food processor bowl. And then we're going to process to combine. And then into the food processor, we're also going to add a half a cup of butter. I am going to do a 1/4 cup of butter and a 1/4 cup of shortening just to give my scones a bit more of a flakiness, but you can also do just a full half cup of butter. So I'm going to cube it up. And this is cold butter. And add to the food processor to be combined. So once that mixture is done, and you'll know it's done because it starts to form little balls and crumbs in there, you're going to mix vanilla extract with 1 egg and whipping cream. So once your mixture is all done and combined inside your food processor, you'll know it is so because it will start to form crumbles and crumbs inside the bowl of the food processor. You're going to want to whisk together 1 egg, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and half a cup of whipping cream. Now add this mixture to your food processor. So once your mixture looks combined, the dough will be very, very sticky, but you're going to want to try to take your blades out of there and very, very carefully remove the excess dough off of the blades. this, you're gonna wanna get some flour on your hands because as Sally says in her recipe, the dough is going to be very, very sticky. And you're gonna wanna form a ball as best as you can. So once your ball has formed, you're gonna press it down into about an 8-inch disc, like this, and you're going to cut it into wedges. We're gonna line a baking sheet with parchment paper, and we're going to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. Gonna look like this on your baking sheet, and at some point during that ordeal I had remembered that I completely forgot to put in the cranberries. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add them on top right now. So this is what they look like with the cranberries added after the fact, but that's perfectly fine. And now we're gonna put them in the fridge to cool for 15 minutes while our oven is still preheating. Okay, so our scones are ready from out of the fridge, and now we're actually gonna dust them with a little bit of coarse baker's sugar. So you're gonna wanna bake your scones for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on what kind of oven you have and how brown that you want the scones to be. So I'm gonna pop them in the oven and we'll see. So now we're gonna prepare the glaze. You're gonna want to juice a fresh orange. So for the glaze, you're gonna do 1 cup of powdered sugar and about 3 tablespoons of orange juice. So next we're gonna be making a maple bacon yogurt parfait. So we're gonna be making them in mason jars, which I've used before in our overnight oats video. But that's just because we want this to be brunch to go. So if you make it into a mason jar, it's easily take to work, take to go, and you can bring in and have a snack on the go. So what you'll need for this recipe is just some yogurt. I'm gonna be using Greek yogurt, some bacon. So this was just bacon that we cooked for meal prep, so we have left over. Some maple syrup, and then some granola. This is just homemade granola that I've made, but you can use whatever you have, or you can omit the granola altogether if you'd like. So I'm going to start by actually patting down the bacon. Because this bacon was cooked a while ago, the grease has kind of pooled onto it. So I'm just gonna pat it down with a paper towel to try to take some of that off. And you're gonna want 1 piece of bacon per serving that you're gonna be making. So we're gonna remove the lids off of our mason jars, and we're gonna start by adding a tablespoon of granola to the bottom of the jar. I'm really excited to use this. I just found it at the grocery store, but this is the Yogo Greek yogurt, and it's in the pouch so that it's very easy to create parfait. And this has about 4 servings in it. A serving is 100 calories, so this is actually perfect for what I'm gonna be making. So now that we've added our yogurt into the mason jars, we are going to add another tablespoon of granola on top. We are going to add a teaspoon of maple syrup. And we're going to use scissors to cut our bacon into little pieces and onto our parfait. So I'm going to cut the strip of bacon in half first. And then finely chop. So now we're just gonna pop the lids onto our parfaits and they're good to go. And now our scones are out of the oven, they're cooling. Our parfaits are done. We have our glaze done for the scones, and now we're just gonna work on our ham and cheese egg croissants. So now we're gonna be making our egg and ham and cheese croissants. So we're gonna be making the eggs in a casserole dish and then baking it in the oven. And then while that bakes, we're gonna get our ingredients ready for the croissants. So the ham and the cheese and the croissants, we have to slice them up. And then we can assemble them in easy to go sandwiches. So first things first, we're going to take some olive oil spray and heavily spray down our casserole dish because we don't want the eggs sticky. And we're gonna set that aside and we are going to crack some eggs. So I took 9 eggs because I am using a 9x9 square baking sheet or baking dish. But you can use however many eggs you want. I know that I'm gonna be cutting it into 6 because I have 6 croissants to make 6 sandwiches. Now just for inside the egg mixture, we're just gonna do just a bit of salt, just a bit of black pepper. We're gonna whisk that up and then I'm gonna add some chives. Now we're gonna add our egg mixture to the baking sheet. And then once the oven is preheated, we're gonna bake it for about half an hour. So now we are going to cut open our croissants and get them ready with some ham and cheese. And then we're gonna put the bottoms of our croissants in another baking dish. And I'm using Swiss cheese and honey ham for my gourmet ham and cheese sandwich. We're gonna do a slice of cheese on each bottom of croissant. And then we're gonna do about 3 pieces of ham per sandwich. So now we just have to wait for our eggs to cook, cool, then we're gonna cut them into 6 pieces and layer them on our croissant sandwiches. So now we have our eggs ready out of the oven. This is what the cooked eggs look like. We're gonna cut them in half and then down in thirds so that we have 6 pieces so that we can put them on our croissant sandwiches. So we have our croissant sandwiches, we have our yogurt parfaits, and now we are just going to ice our scones and everything is ready to go. Okay, so now you have 3 easy things to take brunch on the go. We have our cranberry orange scones with the orange glaze. We have our maple bacon parfaits, and we have our ham and cheese egg croissants. So we did that with a ham and Swiss, so it's a little bit extra fancy for you. Now these, you can wrap these up, put them in your fridge and take one to go, or you can put them in the oven like this and warm them up and eat them as a family meal. The scones just need to cool and let the glaze harden a little bit more, but these are also perfect to take on the go. And the maple bacon parfaits are already in a mason jar, so they're perfect to take with you to work or wherever you may be going. So I hope you guys liked this video, and please comment down below to let us know what else you would like to see on the channel. Let me know if you're going to be trying any of these brunch on the go recipes, and other than that, I hope to see you soon.